Thanks for the times that you've given me. The memories are all in my mind. And now that we've come to the end of our rainbow, there's something I must say out loud. You once, twice, three times a lady, and I love you. Yes, you once, twice, three times a lady, and I love you. I love you. When we are together, the moments I cherish with every beat of my heart. To touch you, to hold you, to feel you, to need you. There's nothing to keep us apart. You once, twice, three times a lady, and I love you. I love you.
A very warm welcome to you all, and thank you for joining us as we come together to pay tribute to and remember the life of a very special lady, joined by more family and friends who are here with us not only in thought at this very moment, but also via webcast. And so whilst this may not be a room full of people, it is a room full of love and respect, and Jean was very much loved. There's no doubt that her passing leaves a void in the lives of those who knew and loved her. But she's also left many of you with your own personal and special memories. And so today we're going to remember her with an intimate service of celebration for her life. So let's hold Jean lovingly in our hearts as we remember her qualities, the things you loved about her, and the things she loved about life. And to share some of those memories, I'd like to invite Lance.
I'll just start by saying, if you'll excuse me, I might struggle with parts of this. First thing that strikes me is how nice it is to see pictures of Mum as we should remember her, rather than the last few years. Mum's gone now, She's no longer with us. The truth is that Mum hadn't been with us for a few years now. Alzheimer's is a horrible disease suffered by so many people, and it does of course bring about fundamental changes in people's behaviour. But Mum maintained some of her core characteristics throughout this. Since her death, and even before her death, the word that I most heard said of Mum was that she was gentle. While so many aspects of her character slowly disappeared in the last 9 or 10 years, Mum clearly remained gentle. It was in her makeup. The nursing staff at the care home were quick to mention it, and you could continue to see it for yourself. While other clients in her care home could seem frustrated, scared or angry, Mum would try to calm and placate them, even though she had little faculty. It was in her makeup. Mum was gentle, and she was also loving. But that wasn't entirely without controversy. I remember when she used to chase Jonathan around singing "My Sweetest Little Boy, Whom Everybody Love and Kisses." I'd always thought the word everybody was a bit of a stretch. Gentle, loving, and without doubt successful. Mum's organisational skills, financial acumen, and sheer hard work were essential to Mum and Dad's financial achievements. Between them, they did a great job over the years. They achieved so much. But financial success doesn't bring happiness. The secret of life is to be happy. And to be happy, you need to be of service. While not without some challenges, Mum must have been very contented with life. She certainly should have been, because she overwhelmingly devoted her life to her family. For the better, she overwhelmingly devoted herself to our dad and to bringing up her 4 boys. By giving us so much of her time and so much hard work, Mum always provided as best she could for our every need. On reflection, I rather took it for granted, and no doubt my brothers did too. We must thank Mum for loving us all, and for her persistent hard work that continued for years beyond my childhood and years beyond her diagnosis, to the point where she simply was unable to help. Indeed, even when she no longer could help, she'd still offer it. Working for many weekends, Mum and Dad did so much to help me in renovating my first house in the mid-80s. That would have been despite having so much on their own plates. And moving on to 2015, a few months before Mum's diagnosis, I came back to the UK to renovate my second house. I was living in an increasing mess of DIY materials with nothing else other than an air mattress in the corner of a bedroom and a couple of plates which were out of commission because I'd used them. Mum and Dad rocked up, and while Dad's mobility had him spend the next 45 minutes lying down trying to unscrew a cover plate on an electric point, Mum brought stuff in from a fully loaded car. She had the whole place looking like a teddy bear's picnic in no time. Mum quickly made the place livable for me. On reflection, one might say Mum lived her life by maxims. She'd quote no end of life's truths, often relating to working effectively. More haste, less speed. Many hands make light work. The early bird catches the worm. With her jewels of wisdom, Mum was Trollywood's answer to Confucius. Personally, I found it easy to hear them, but impossible to apply them. Mum, on the other hand, truly lived by them. They really did shape her effective lifetime work ethos. Mum's work was tireless and selfless, really. But all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, as Mum used to also say. Mum did get some time to herself. She enjoyed gardening as a pleasure rather than seeing it as hard work. And although she only competed in local competitions, Mum was without doubt the world's best flower arranger. If Mrs. Clapworthy ever failed to win a category, she'd be a close second to the battle-hardened Mrs. Tate. And best of all, Mum tutored her children in the use of shapes, colours and textures in the art of floral design. Her 4 young alpha males earned themselves extra pocket money by placing high in the under-12s competitions. The Clapworthys boasted a flower-arranging dynasty. Mum was well travelled. Before I had arrived on the scene, Mum's job meant that our parents could travel widely at a time when few people travelled around the world. They'd visited over 70 countries by the time our father passed away. Mum and Dad loved their sequence dancing for many years from the time that they retired. And Mum enjoyed bridge with the ladies too. Every time they played at our house, I used to look out of the bedroom window and watch Mrs. Ruddock. I'm not sure if she was nervous about going to a house with 4 Clapworthy boys, but she clearly always had a couple of morning tipples before driving to Uphill Rise. She'd spend 15 minutes trying to manoeuvre her car into a 25-metre parking space before just stepping out of the car and abandoning it in the middle of the cul-de-sac for 2 hours. If you do find that your exit is blocked on the way out after the service, Mrs. Ruddock is the lady in hot pink coat with big earrings and even bigger lipstick. And of course, very importantly, Mum had her friends. Janet, Sheila, Phyllis, Margaret and Marjorie were all her special friends. They were her lifetime friends. Margaret and Marjorie, I think, may well be watching us from Australia, whether or not it's live or recorded. And how fabulous it is that both Janet and Sheila have made it here today despite the challenges that come with old age. And also Janet's son David, who I understand my mother was godmother to. Nice to see you, David. At this point, I must also acknowledge Mum's brother, our Uncle Don, and Auntie Pauline, who are also watching online following Pauline's recent hip replacement. And I'd like to give a special mention to my brother Mark for giving so much time to Mum and Dad and looking after them in their last years. Always grateful for that, Mark. Back to Mum's friends. I always used to like it when Mum's friends came round for dinner because Mum would always bake, or often bake. You could lick the batter out of the cake tin and the cake bowl, and I'd love to say that I could also nick the odd cake as well. But Mum grew up in the generation of rationing, and she always applied that ethos. We could only have one biscuit or cake, and that would have to wait until tea time. Yes, food didn't abound. In fact, the meals she served were altogether small. Until the day Mum stopped cooking, she'd perfectly execute portions of meat and vegetables that were exactly enough to keep 4 boys and 2 adults from the brink of starvation. There would always be just enough meat and just enough vegetables. I'm sure we'd have been 6'3" with a few extra carrots on Sundays. So Mum was a good cook, but her meals were seldom heartily filling, and they weren't always what we'd like either. With chewy arches, liver was served too often. I recall leaving the table to spit my liver down the toilet. On coming out of the toilet, my 3 brothers had formed a queue behind me with the same thing in mind. Returning to Mum's friends again, today gives me the opportunity to bring up one story that demands an apology to Janet and Sheila, maybe, if I've remembered rightly. Mum gave birth to me at Mum and Dad's first home in Southall. It was in a place called Regina Road. Well, over dinner one day, I announced this to Mum and Dad and their friends, but I mispronounced the word Regina. No, that's something entirely different, said Mum, and she excused me from the table. So apologies for that, Janet and Sheila. I really should have known better, but I was a little slow on that sort of thing, and maybe Mum should take some blame for that. Mum had a great enthusiasm for most things, but I sensed she wasn't looking forward to telling her sons about the birds and the bees. So to ease the awkwardness, Mum had taken a book out of the library, The Birds and Bees, Everything You'd Ever Wanted to Know but Had Always Been Afraid to Ask. It's a sort of Disney Kama Sutra. One Sunday afternoon, she sat in the middle of the sofa, opened the book and called her 4 boys to line up behind her. and look over her shoulder. Jonathan was 4, I was 14. So, don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. If at first you don't succeed, try again. A job worth doing is worth doing well. These are all maxims that Mum would regularly use, but the phrase I most remember her using is there's a place for everything and everything's in its place. Mum's now found her place. Long may she rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Lars. Well, we're going to dedicate the next few moments to every precious memory associated with Jean as we listen to one of her favourite songs and watch a visual tribute.
First time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes, and the moon and the stars were the gifts you gave to the dark and the endless skies, my love, to the dark and the endless skies. And the first time ever I kissed your mouth, I felt the earth move in my hand, like the trembling heart of a captive bird that was there at my command, my love, that was there at my command. till the end of time, my love, and it would last till the end of time, my love. The first time ever I saw your face, your face, your face, your face.
Our poem was one we included in David's service in 2001 because it was a favourite of Jean's, and they had both enjoyed hearing it at a poetry recital at their care home not long before David passed, and so we're including it again today, If, by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build 'em up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. It's almost time for us to say our final farewells to Jean, but before we do, I would like to give special thanks on behalf of Lance, Mark, Nigel and John to the staff at Llys Kencoed, all of whose outstanding care, respect, compassion and dedication to Jean's welfare will be forever appreciated. Also, heartfelt thanks to you, family and friends, for your love and support and your messages of condolence, which have given a great deal of comfort. And you are all invited to Mark's family home in Camborne Avenue following our service to continue sharing your own stories and memories of Jean. And if you should wish to make a donation to charity in her memory, your kind contributions will be welcomed for Alzheimer's Research UK. And so in love and with respect, we've been remembering Jean. Will you please join me now, if you wish, as we say together the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. As we prepare to say our final farewells, please remember that this is only Jean's physical self that we are saying goodbye to today. For as long as you live, his spirit and memories, they remain a living part of you all. And the love you shared is with you forever. We come now to the farewell, followed by music where you'll have a few moments to reflect and to say your own private goodbyes. Jean, we treasure the memory of your love and your kindness. In grief at your death, but in gratitude for your life and for the privilege of sharing it with you. We are glad that we saw your face and walked the paths of life with you. May the light of our love shine eternally upon you, and may you reach the end of your journey in happiness, as you are reunited with your beloved husband David, who has been waiting for you, and all those you have loved and have gone before you, as we wish for you the eternal peace and rest that you truly deserve. Rest now, Jean, in perfect peace.
Every time we say goodbye, I die a little. Every time we say goodbye, I wonder why a little. Why the gods above me, who must be in the know, think so little of me, they allow you to go. When you're near, there's such an air of spring about it. I can hear a lark somewhere begin to sing about it. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor every time we say goodbye. When you're near, there's such an air of spring about it. I can hear a lark somewhere begin to sing about it. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor every time we say goodbye.
In a few moments, we'll be leaving here, and you'll go on picking up the pieces and carrying on with your lives. And it is right to do so, because we're not leaving her behind. She is coming with you, in your hearts and in your minds. So be sure to keep her there. Talk about it often, and treasure your memories with her, because they are her most precious legacy. The beauty of a memory is that it's always there. Like a penny in your pocket, you can take it anywhere. And when your heart is heavy and your eyes are filled with tears, you can focus on a memory and travel through the years. Your heart can visit happy times when laughter filled the air, and the presence of your loved one will lessen your despair. So as you travel on in life, take comfort as you go in a lifetime of sweet memories of one who loved you so.